So, good afternoon, beautiful people of the world. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Charts, where we tell you how to manifest money with your mind. It's so much fun. Typically, I'll cover different topics, but on this limited series, we are working on the science of getting rich. So, before I get into all of that, my name is Cha Cha. I am the host of this amazing series and also the money mantra as well. I am also the founder of the Cosmic Club, which is a high vibrational network of entrepreneurs helping other entrepreneurs, right, with creative ideas, financial literacy, and then just daily encouragement. So there's a bunch of different things that happen at the Cosmic Club on Wednesdays. It is Wellness Wednesdays. And we just pretty much focus on mindset from the morning to the night, right? Because we know that if we are trading, if we're entrepreneurs, there's so many opportunities throughout the day where you're going to be making money, right? There's so many opportunities for you to make money. So at what times of the day are you setting aside for you to get your mind right? Right? There in some religions, they pray multiple times a day to make sure that the intention that they set in the morning is the same thing that they're thinking about in the afternoon, and it's the same thing that they're focused on at night. So on Wellness Wednesdays, we start the day off with mindset reset. It's an amazing personal development series that anybody can join if you just feel like, if you ever felt stuck, stagnant, you tired of feeling a certain way and you're actually ready to make progress in your life. That series is going to teach you how. And then, of course, we also have the Digital Dash at 8 o'clock p.m., which covers topics to encourage entrepreneurs and give you guys the real nitty gritty about what to expect when you choose this path for yourself. So today we are doing Off the Charts. It's the final original series from the Cosmic Club right now, and we are working through the Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. So if you haven't had a chance to check out the previous weeks, we're on week 7 right now, by the way. We're on week 7, by the way. So we're getting through it. 16 chapters. The first chapter was the right to be rich, just saying that everybody has the right to be rich. Essentially, it's not off limits to anybody. If somebody else can get rich, why can't you do the same thing? And if you automatically have that feeling, no, that's not for me, start to question that, especially if you find yourself always running out of money or needing more money in your life. So the second chapter was there is a science to getting rich, pretty much saying that if you know that there's an exact way to boil water, right? You turn on a pot, the water comes on. Like the water is going to get hot once it reaches a certain temperature. That's the science of boiling water, right? Something as simple as the science of putting on your pants. You have to put in one leg before the other. I don't know anybody who puts on pants both legs at once, right? So that's the science of that. So there's a science of getting rich saying that if you do things in this specific way, you have a higher chance at getting the results you want, especially if the results you want include money. Okay. So the third chapter was is opportunity monopolized? And the answer is no. And what that simply is asking is that just because there's a bunch of people doing the same thing that you have a passion about, does that mean that you shouldn't take that opportunity to get into that field? And the answer is no. Just the same way that they created and started their business, in the same way that, I don't know, people have similar ideas and it's okay to express that. That's what it's all about. Whatever thoughts or passions you find in your heart, just because somebody else is doing it doesn't mean that it's off limit to you, right? Because the same substance that actually created those opportunities will essentially create more opportunities for you, which actually leads us into chapter 5, which was about increasing life. And it was saying how life itself just wants to increase. Like if you're here, you're supposed to be doing more. Like you're supposed to be growing, you're supposed to be developing, you're supposed to be changing. That's what's been happening on this planet since we've gotten here, right? That's how we are at the stage that we're at now, right? Humans before us, they constantly seek to get better. They kept the traits that was the best. So now you have to continue to do the same thing, right? When it comes to your health, when it comes to your wealth, when it comes to your finances. If you want to survive out here in these streets, it's best that you start to use your God-given talents or turn one of your hobbies into a paid stream of income. So chapter 6, how riches come to you, was all about essentially what you put out is what you're going to get back. And if you're kind to people and you're making them feel better, that's how you, if you are an entrepreneur, that's how you get referrals, right? They're going to bring people back to you, right? Simply because you're choosing the higher road or you're choosing to put out a certain vibration at all times, which is happiness, which is positivity, and which is, right, leads us in chapter 7, gratitude. You'll be able to attract things much better because everything is about getting on that right frequency. If you have a favorite radio station, right, that you can think of either when you was a kid, in college, or now, just go ahead and drop some sevens in the chat, right? And you can drop the radio station if you want as well. But and I'll just drop some sevens because of course I have a favorite radio station, right? At a few different times in my life, it was different radio stations. But when you want to listen to that station, you tune into that frequency, right? When you want to get in that mood, you tune into that frequency. So if you want to get in the vibration of wealth and you want to get in the vibration of money, it's important to be able to tune into that frequency to always get the result that you want. So if that makes sense, guys, drop some threes in the chat. And without further ado, because that was just our introduction, I'm going to actually play chapter 7 from The Science of Getting Rich. And then we're going to have a discussion about it. I'm going to tell you what I think about it. And then, of course, you guys can share what you think about it. But I think this chapter is extremely important. Once you understand that simply just love and gratitude are what God responds to, you will get a lot of results, right? You will get a lot more results out of your life. So let me go ahead and turn my video off and play this. And feel free to drop your notes in the chat as he's talking before we actually review this chapter. So here we go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Chapter 7, Gratitude. The illustration given in the last chapter will have conveyed to the reader the fact that the first step toward getting rich is to convey the idea of your wants to the formless substance. This is true, and you will see that in order to do so, it becomes necessary to relate yourself to the formless intelligence in a harmonious way. To secure this harmonious relation is a matter of such primary and vital importance that I shall give some space to its discussion here, and give you instructions which, if you will follow them, will be certain to bring you into perfect unity of the mind with God. The whole presence of mental adjustment and atonement can be summed up in one word: gratitude. First, you believe that there is one intelligent substance from which all things proceed. Second, you believe that this substance gives you everything you desire. And third, you relate yourself to it by a feeling of deep and profound gratitude. Many people who order their lives rightly in all other ways are kept in poverty by their lack of gratitude. Having received one gift from God, they cut the wires which connect them with Him by failing to make acknowledgement. It is easy to understand that the nearer we live to the source of wealth, the more wealth we shall receive. And it is easy also to understand that the soul that is always grateful lives in closer touch with God than the one which never looks to Him in thankful acknowledgement. The more gratefully we fix our minds on the Supreme when good things come to us, the more good things we will receive, and the more rapidly they will come. And the reason simply is that the mental attitude of gratitude draws the mind into closer touch with the source from which the blessings come. If it is a new thought to you that gratitude brings your whole mind into closer harmony with the creative energies of the universe, consider it well, and you will see that it is true. The good things you already have come to you along the line of obedience to certain laws. Gratitude will lead your mind out along the ways by which things come, and it will keep you in close harmony with creative thought and prevent you from falling into competitive thought. Gratitude alone can keep you looking toward the all and prevent you from falling into the error of thinking of the supply as limited, and to do that would be fatal to your hopes. There is a law of gratitude, and it is absolutely necessary that you should observe the law if you are to get the results you seek. The law of gratitude is the natural principle that action and reaction are always equal and in the opposite directions. The grateful outreaching of your mind and thankful praise to the Supreme is a liberation or expenditure of force. It cannot fail to reach that to who which it addressed, and the reaction is an instantaneous movement towards you. Draw nigh unto God, and He will draw nigh unto you. That is a statement of psychological truth. And if your gratitude is strong and constant, the reaction in formless substance will be strong and continuous. The movement of the things you want will be always toward you. You cannot exercise much power without gratitude, for it is gratitude that keeps you connected with power. But the value of gratitude does not consist solely in getting you more blessings in the future. Without gratitude, you cannot long keep from dissatisfied thought regarding things as they are. The moment you permit your mind to dwell with dissatisfaction upon things as they are, you begin to lose ground. You fix attention upon the common, the ordinary, the poor, and the squalid and mean, and your mind takes the form of these things. Then you will transmit these forms or mental images to the formless, and the common, the poor, the squalid, and mean will come to you. To permit your mind to dwell upon the inferior is to become inferior, and to surround yourself with inferior things. On the other hand, to fix your attention on the best is to surround yourself with the best and to become the best. The creative power within us makes us into the image of that to which we give our attention. We are thinking substance, and thinking substance always takes the form of that which it thinks about. The grateful mind is constantly fixed upon the best. Therefore, it tends to become the best. It takes the form or character of the best and will receive the best. Also, faith is born of gratitude. The grateful mind continually expects good things, and expectation becomes faith. The reaction of gratitude upon one's own mind produces faith, and every outgoing wave of grateful thanksgiving increases faith. He who has no feeling of gratitude cannot long retain a living faith. And without a living faith, you cannot get rich by the creative method, as we shall see in the following chapters. It is necessary, then, to cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you and to give thanks continuously. And because all things have contributed to your advancement, you should include all things in your gratitude. Do not waste time thinking or talking about the shortcomings or wrong actions of plutocrats or trust magnates. Their organization of the world has made your opportunity. All you get really comes to you because of them. Do not rage against corrupt politicians. If it were not for politicians, we should fall into anarchy, and your opportunity would be greatly lessened. God has worked a long time and very patiently to bring us up to where we are in industry and government, and He is going right on with His work. There is not the least doubt that He will do away with plutocrats, trust magnates, captains of industry, and politicians as soon as they can be spared. But in the meantime, behold, they are all very good. Remember that they are all helping to arrange the lines of transmission along which your riches will come to you, and be grateful to them all. This will bring you into harmonious relations with the good in everything, and the good in everything will move toward you.
All right. That was amazing. Now I know he be talking a lot and his sentences just be so it'd be a lot, right? But just drop some threes in the chat if you got some value from that chapter, right? This is one of my favorite chapters in the book. If I could do a part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on gratitude, I promise you I would because it's just so good. So you guys can of course drop your thoughts and what you actually thought about that chapter. And I'm just gonna start to break it down like why I really just love it so much because it's so simple. It's like we all want to be better than how we are today, right? And if you don't want to be better than how you are today, then you should question why, because why not? So it's important to understand that there are things that you can do to actually get to where you want to be. And 9 times out of 10, those things are very, very, very simple and easy, like expressing gratitude. So the very first thing how he started off this chapter was just pretty much saying that if you want to get what you want from this world, right, out of this lifetime, you have to secure the primary relationship with God and focus on giving gratitude. And I just think that's so important because how many of us have had to go on job interviews and we had to do certain things that we didn't want to do, wear our hair a certain way, dress a certain way, speak a certain way just to secure a relationship that was we thought right was going to be supplying us something good enough, right? We were essentially trading ourselves for something that we thought would be good enough. So drop some ones in the chat if you ever tried to secure any type of relationship before, right? A business relationship, a friendship, right? And you did certain things to try to appease that person, right? A friendship. I know I've definitely had to do that. So let me drop some ones in the chat, right? Because it's a lot of things I try to secure by appeasing to that person or that particular situation. Now, if you want to get what you want from God, you have to understand that that's something that you have to make sure that you're putting time and energy into just simply being grateful, right? To have gratitude is literally to not only be pleased, right? You guys can write this down. To have gratitude is to be pleased, right? With what you ask for, like, and you're actually getting the results. Like you're pleased with the results, essentially. Like you're pleased with the results, you're pleased with the person you got it from, and you're just extremely grateful for that. So, Jordan said, gratitude has helped me understand that I have enough resources, self awareness, love, and security. Exactly. Because it is limitless, it's really infinite. And we get so many things throughout our day, so many things happen to us, but how often do we really just stop and say thank you? Because where are these things coming from, right? Like, where is your breath coming from? Where are your ideas coming from? The fact that you got home safely from point A to point B, was it something that you did because you was a safe driver, or is it something much larger at play? If you get deposits into your account, right, is that something that you did, or is it something that God did for you? Right. So we do have to just take more time to just stop and be grateful. Like, I promise you, I say thank you so much throughout my day, even for the smallest things. Like, it could be something that happened in traffic, and I'll be like, thank you, God, for letting that car go in front of me because they're wilding. Or, wow, thank you, God, for, like, it'll just be the smallest little things, because everything is coming from this one place. And that's what we have to understand. Like, we're all being powered by the same source, right? So if something's happening, right, that situation was brought to you based on the thoughts that you thought previously, right? If you woke up and one thing happened and you said, okay, today is going to be a bad day, and then bad things continuously happen to you, right? Just drop some threes in the chat if that's ever happened to you, right? You said, people say you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, right? One thing happened, then another thing happened, then another thing happened, then another thing happened. And it's simply because that's what you were focusing your mind on, right? Now, chapter 4 in this book is called The First Principle in the Science of Getting Rich. And the first principle is to understand that everything comes from thought, right? He says this throughout this book so many times, that we are thinking substance. We're literally thinking substance. So whatever we choose to think and whatever we focus on is literally, sorry, y'all know your chapstick just be doing the most. Like, why? Right? But yeah, we have to understand that we are thinking substance. So whatever thoughts that we have, right, because we all come from the same space, if we impress those thoughts, right, onto the formless substance where everything comes from, then it's going to print something back out to you. Like, what the analogy that I've been using throughout this series is, let's just think of the formless substance, right, better known as God, right? Let's just think of that as Play-Doh, right? If you can take out and you can make whatever you want out of it, and then you can also put it back, and then it's just going to go back into the substance. So if you're taking from this thing and you're saying today is going to be a bad day, right, you're going to take it, you're going to make a bad day, and that's what it is going to be, right? But if you take it and you say today is going to be an amazing day, I'm going to have money coming to me from this way, that way, this way, I'm going to have favor in everything that I do today, you'll start to see that you'll get much better results, simply because you're in harmony with what you were created from. So it just makes sense. He also said that the nearer we live to wealth, the more we will have, which really just makes sense. I always use the analogy, like, if somebody wants to be a doctor, of course they're going to study medicine, right? They're going to hang out with other doctors. They're going to hang out with people that are studying the same thing. This may not be all of their friends, but it is going to be their core friend group because they're in the same field, they're in the same career, they have similar thoughts and ideas, right? They're going to progress together. It's the same thing. If you find that you want to be wealthier, not only do you have to surround yourself with other wealth-minded individuals, but 9 times out of 10, the people that are getting wealthy are people who have practiced these principles, right? Because if anybody can get wealthy, it's not based on location, right? It's not based on age, sex, gender. Nowadays, although some of these things they may be used against you, sometimes you can get past that and you can become wealthy, right? You can find so many people with so many different backstories, and I'm pretty sure what they did was change their mindset, right? And they started to actually practice these things. They understood that what I'm thinking, right, is what's going to happen, because I'm impressing my thoughts, right? Like, literally think of it like a stamp. Whatever you think of it, like whatever you're thinking, literally think of your thoughts like a stamp, right? And you're literally stamping out the stencil of what you want, right? Every time you think about it. So if you're having a negative thought and you're not feeling it, just remember that you're stamping that out, and you're adding it essentially to your life. So if we don't want that, then just don't think about it, right? We can't continuously think about being stuck, being poor, being broke, being sad. We have to always remember that if it happened for us once, it can happen for us again. If it happened for someone else, it can happen for us as well, simply because that's just how the world works. Something he continuously mentions throughout this book is the fact that opportunity is literally limitless. In the same formless substance, right? The same God that created the first round of things can create the next round of things, and so on and so forth. As far as money is concerned, they print more money every single day, so you're not missing out. All the money that you seek and desire, and you guys, I actually want you to drop some numbers in the chat. If you could have a random deposit to your account, right? If you could have a random deposit to your account before the banks close today, how much would it be for, right? And I'm gonna just say today, just today, a random deposit. If I could have a random deposit, I would say I would want $111,000 deposited to my account today, right? Today, right? So, um, we just need to understand that whatever we seek and desire, if you focus on that thought, if you hold that thought, if you know that what you focus on is literally going to come to you, it's going to come to you because that's the way it works, right? And I'm going to continue to offer analogies throughout this session just so that it makes sense. And for the guys who are able to, well, the guys and gals who are able to get the playbacks to these videos, please listen to not only the audiobook again, but what I'm saying in this call, right? Listen to the analogies. Think about every time you think a thought, right? Think about you're going to your computer and you're pressing print, right? And you're sending it to the machine and it's going to print. No matter what you think, you're sending it to the printer, no matter what. No matter what, right? And at the end of the day, you really have to hang up all of these things that you thought and all of these paintings, right? All these images. Would you want to have more positive things to look at, or would you want to have more negative things to look at, right? No matter what you think, it's going to be sent to the printer regardless. So you might as well print something useful. You might as well print something valuable, right? You might as well turn it into a 3D printer and really, 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 really up it, right? Because the opposite of gratitude, and I learned this recently, and I was like, ugh, the opposite of gratitude is called indebtedness, right? And that's just like you have anxiety about having to pay something back, right? Having to pay something back. But the thing is, drop a 3 in the chat if you ever had to pay God back. Just drop a 3 in the chat if you ever had to pay God back. And drop a 7 in the chat if you, no matter what you asked for, no matter what danger or trouble you was in, God really came through. I'm gonna drop some 7s in the chat, right? I'm gonna drop some 7s in the chat. Never had to pay him back. So when we think about if what we think, anything we think, any desire, any desire we want, if we know that we can think that and it can come true, we should be asking for more, right? We should be asking for more because it's literally limitless. It's not being selfish. It's stingy. It's not being anything. It's just knowing that if I can manifest these little small things on a small basis, right? You need to trust yourself to know that you can have anything you want. So I encourage everybody to up it, ask for more. Whatever you've been asking for, I know we probably have one. If we're doing our active manifestations, there's one number that we've been focused on. There's one number that we've been focused on. There's one number that we've been focused on. I want to make this much money. I need this much money. I need this much money. I highly encourage you to double it, double it, or even triple it because you could be asking for too little, right? If you guys have ever, right, done your taxes and you went to the where's my refund website, right, it'll tell you into your social, into your information, and also enter the amount you're supposed to get back, right? If you enter the wrong number, it's not going to go through because it's incorrect. It can either be higher, or it could be lower. So I want you to think about what you're asking for just like that. Maybe it's not going through, not because you don't deserve it, but because you're not asking for enough, right? You need to get those numbers right. If you put in your PIN number and you don't get the CVV right in the expiration date, you're not getting in. It's incorrect. It's just not right. So you have to just get the numbers right. You got to get your thoughts right. Get it together. Get it together so that it can be printed. It can be made into Play-Doh, whatever you want, right? But you have to decide what you want and up it. So if you guys are going to do that, right, just drop up it in the chat, up it, because personally, I just feel like we've been asking for too small, right? We've been asking for too small, and that's why things aren't working. So I'm gonna just read some other notes in the chat as well. Jordan also said, happiness, using gratitude to help me out of negative time shifts my mindset to positive. Gratitude was the first major step at planting positive seeds in my brain. Exactly. Exactly. And she says she chooses joy. She chooses joy. Um, so yeah, guys, we're gonna keep moving through this chapter, but I think somebody asked me to repeat the definition of indebtedness, and that's just the anxiety of having to pay something back, right? The anxiety of having to pay something back. So understanding that that's the opposite of gratitude, right? We don't if it's two ends of the spectrum is gratitude and it's indebtedness. We want to be on this end of the spectrum, not this end of the spectrum, right? Because this is saying I'm so happy and grateful, this is amazing, I really love this, like I'm so pleased with the result, right? So if you woke up out of bed, you should be pleased with that result. That's amazing because you could have died, right? If you were able to walk today, and who knows, anything could happen. Like people get injured all the time and they're not able to use their body the same way. That's something to be grateful for. That's amazing, right? That's really amazing. Like that's a gift. If you can see, like some people wake up with mysterious conditions and they no longer have their sight, right? That's unfortunate, but not you, right? That's amazing. So you should be happy for that. And the more you just start to be thankful for these little things, because every little thing that's happening is that what he was trying to express in this chapter is that every little thing that happens, every situation you find yourself in, every person you meet, something as small as a traffic incident, right? You just need to express gratitude, right? You need to express gratitude because indebtedness is the feeling that you have to pay it back. Like it's like you owe something back. At this end, you owe nothing. At this end, you feel like you owe something. So you want to stay in this end because you know you don't owe God nothing, right? We just said this in the chat. The only thing we owe God is to be consistent in our faith, right? It's and to trust in the process and know that if I continue to focus on what I want, if I only continue to focus on positive outcomes, if I only have the faith, right, that what I'm thinking, because I understand the science of getting rich will happen, right, then it will happen, right? So I really hope this is making sense. Somebody drop some threes in the chat if this is making sense. So I feel like again, we don't have to be anxious about the things that we desire. You should know that you deserve to express the thoughts that are in your head. A lot of us we're on this call because we want to get rich. We want to understand how to do so. We want to understand why it's not happening faster. Like I'm one of those people because I know I understand the law of attraction, right? I've been listening to my mentors, to Bob Proctor, to just so many different people. So I understand how it works and I've seen it work on a smaller scale. Like I'll think of something, I'll see that thing multiple times in a day. And I'm just like, cool, where's the money? Like I just want the money to come as fast as everything else. But again, it's about finding that right code, getting that right pace, and focusing on gratitude no matter what. Because he also said the moment that you start focusing on the inferior is when you become inferior. And this is just true, but on the opposite end. We can have positive dominating thoughts, which is I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm wealthy. I'm so happy and grateful now that all my debt is clear. I'm so happy and grateful now that I get five-figure deposits to my account every single day. I'm so happy and grateful now that my living situation has upgraded, right? I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm driving the car of my dreams, right? I'm so happy and grateful now that all my streams of income are popping at one time, right? These are the things that we have to start to focus on. Like literally just focus on it on a borderline obsession, especially if you find yourself in a position where you revert back to your negative mindset more so than often. Like me, I would say right now is 90% positive, 10% is just like, but the positive side of that is that I can just catch myself quicker. Like in the past, I would stay in a mood or in one negative thought for days, months, I don't know, a very long time. But now it's just like I'll have the thought, maybe I'll be in my feelings for a couple of minutes, couple hours, and I'll be like, right back to what I was thinking before because I've inset my internal programming to do those things, right? Because it's not like it's magic, it's not like it's uncommon, it's not like people haven't used these books to get the results, but it is about the discipline and remembering to actually do them. It's about, like I said, I always say this, something that really helped me shift my mindset faster was listening to stuff like this while I slept, because I consistently wanted to program my mind, not just when I was up, because I have other stuff to do. I wish I could, but I can't listen to audiobooks 24/7. But if I'm sleeping, I'm not doing anything, I'm still putting that information in my mind, right? I really started waking up in a better mood. I started taking more action, doing more things, because that's what I believe, and I understand that what I think, right, is going to be directly related to the results that I get. So I try to keep my thoughts as specific and narrow as possible. I don't. Everybody has a lot of thoughts throughout the day, but my reoccurring thoughts are positive. It's not. It actually it is. It is obsessing about wealth because I understand that I'm going to attract it. There's things that have happened in the last couple of days that have just been like, wow, the what you say really works. And I just want everybody to really believe that we are all thinking substance, and that's pretty much it. You just got to be you got to be grateful for every little thing that happens. And another thing you can do that I suggest is to find the positive in every situation. Like you can be, let's just say for example, I used to hate when I had to run errands and it was raining and I had to take lifts and Ubers, and I would be like, oh my god, it's raining, like I would really be complaining. But now it's just like if I had to go outside and thank god I have a car now, but it's like if I had to go outside and do that, I should be focusing on, okay, I'm so happy and grateful I have the money to actually run these errands. I'm happy and grateful I have the money to pay for this transportation. Like I'm so happy, like I'm about to have a safe ride home. I got everything done that I needed to do. Like you can always look at the situation for the negative side of it, or you can look at it for the positive side of it. So anything that starts to come up in your life, just catch yourself in a moment and figure out like what am I focusing on? Because you're only in that situation because one, it was attracted to you by your energy, and two, you have the option to choose what you want to focus on. So, and this is why people, well, this is I can't speak for everybody, but this is why I enjoy personal development, right? I really enjoy personal development because I be so excited for the next opportunity to put to work what I just learned. Like if I'm learning about patience, if I'm learning about being calm, if I'm anything I'm learning about, whenever there's the next opportunity, that's the only way you're gonna know your growth, right? Is the next opportunity. You can't dwell on the past, you can't be upset about it, you can't be sad about it, but you can be like, you know what? I didn't do this the right way last time. So let me do it the right way this time. So next time a situation comes up about your finances, let's just say a random bill comes out of your account and you're like, oh my God, I needed that money. It's just like, well, okay, I'm so happy that I actually have the finances to pay for that at this time and my account is not going into overdraft. Okay. And I know the same way that that money was put into my account, it's going to be right back in there, right? It's going to be right back in there. So just start to shift your mind like that. The next time you feel like, oh my God, I don't have enough money, just instead of saying that, because you do have the option, you can just be like, you know what? All the money I want right now is out there in the world. It's just not in my account. It's just not in my account. Right. And it will just make you feel better for a second because we tend to stress about finances, about money simply because we don't have it right now. But we have to understand and really understand that it's out there. You just have to be a magnet and just pull it in. Right. You just have to be a magnet and you have to pull it in. So let me see. Is that all I have to say about gratitude? I could really talk forever. Like I really could talk forever. It's so many ways to just to break this down even more. And to really get into just the mind in general. But one, it just starts with reprogramming your mind. It starts with, instead of focusing on indebtedness and feeling like, oh my God, I have to do this, I have to do that. Just know that whatever you ask God for, right? Whatever thoughts you impress upon the formless substance, whatever desire you seek, just know that you can literally have it and there's nothing stopping you from getting that thing. The only thing that's stopping you is time, right? And the only way you're not going to reach that destination is if you stop walking now, right? The only way you're not going to reach the destination is if you never take the steps to start in the first place. But if you keep walking, eventually you're going to get there. Like there's no such thing as walking forever, right? There will be milestones along the way, but you will reach your destination. So you just have to continuously put in the time and effort to change your mindset. If you know that's where it starts, right? If you know that's where it starts. I don't know how many times you guys have heard this since you have been on these calls. I don't know how many times you've heard this, that it's anything you want is 10% skill, and 90% mindset. So if you know that's where it starts, you should be putting every little bit of energy you have into shifting your mindset, because you spend more time with yourself than anybody else. You are the only person who can reprimand you for bad behavior, right? You are the only person who can change your thoughts, because you are the only person who actually knows your thoughts. Like nobody is, well, I'm not, but most people are not mind readers, right? So you have to really know how, you have to really be willing to change your mind, and it will take a lot of unlearning, simply because we were not, a lot of us were not taught these things were not drilled into us for years. We've actually been told the complete opposite. We've actually been surrounded by people who are full of indebtedness, people who are always in debt, people who are always broke, people who are always sad, people who are always miserable, people who are stuck in a $50,000, $60,000, even $80,000 mindset. Like people who are convinced that $100,000 a year is great, because they're not aware of $100,000 a month, right? Because if you gave somebody that option, but it's like a no brainer. Like, would you rather make $100,000 a year or $100,000 a month? Of course, they're gonna say a month, but then the next thing they're gonna say is, "I wish that's impossible." But like you on this call, anytime I hear anything that seems astronomical, and I'm a Pisces too, I just get so excited because I'd be like, "Oh my God, it's possible!" Like if you keep thinking about it, like I really be so excited when people have like outrageous ideas, because um my background is in public relations and entertainment business. So it's just all about helping creative people really believe that their creative ideas can come true, and giving them a practical means to actually do so. So yeah, guys, it's amazing. I'm literally grateful for every little thing. Oh, thank you God for making me do that left turn. Thank you for rerouting. Thank you for traffic. Like, cause it's just like I don't know what I'm being protected from, but thank you. Like, I don't know what's happening over there, but thank you. I'm over here. Like, so yeah, guys, if anybody would like to share your thoughts, go ahead and raise your hand. But this is going to wrap up what I have to say about chapter 7, Gratitude of the Science of Getting Rich. Make sure you are following the Cosmic Club on Instagram for more entrepreneurial inspiration and updates. If you want to keep up with me and everything I'm doing, you can follow me on Instagram at money, MoneyMantra, money mantra cha, CHA. So there we go. And I see Spicy raised her hand, so I'm going to allow her to talk. And yeah, you have the floor, Spicy.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I definitely love this topic of gratitude because gratitude is easy. It's as easy as just saying thank you. And it's as easy as saying thank you multiple times within a day because you're being grateful for something that you did not have before. A lot of people are in situations right now in which they probably don't want to be in those situations, but at some point in time, you've manifested those situations or you've prayed for those situations. So it's all about understanding like, no matter, regardless of where I was before and what I had before, I am where I am now and I have what I have now. And it's being grateful for that thing. And when you're grateful for something, you actually get more. It's like if anyone on this call is a parent like myself, you understand how it is with kids. When kids are not grateful, when you give them something, does that make you feel like you want to give them something again? No, you don't want to do that. So it's thinking about it in terms of God with his children. If you're not thankful for the resources that he's given you, why would he bless you with more? Why would he bless you with more? So I definitely like this topic of gratitude. Like I said, I literally catch myself at any given point in time in the day just being thankful for what I have because these were things that I prayed for. These were things that I did not have before. So I think that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and just pass the call because I can continue to keep talking as well, but it is what it is. It's very easy to be grateful. It's as easy as saying thank you and understanding that you didn't give that thing to yourself. The source provided that thing to you. One last thing. You did say, you asked the question if we ever had to pay God back. I didn't answer in the chat because I was busy, but I do say yes. I am required, and it is my responsibility on a daily basis to pay God back through obedience, through listening to the instructions that he has for me, regardless of if it's something that I want to do or something that I don't want to do. I've had to walk away from so many relationships that I did not want to walk away from, but those relationships were hindering my destiny, the purpose on my life and my journey that God set out for me. So, yes, I pay God back every single day with my obedience. I pay him back with my respect, and I also pay him back with gratitude. So, that's it for me, y'all.
All right. Amen. Thank you, Spicy, for your share. And I agree. I agree. We definitely pay God back with our behaviors towards the things that he's doing. And the number one thing is gratitude. Like Spicy said, it is easy, it is free, and you really can't say thank you. Like when I came to the realization, like I remember when I started just to be more grateful and to express more gratitude. I remember a day and then I was like, wow, I didn't say thank you to God yesterday and I didn't say thank you to God the day before. And I just was so shook and so shocked that it takes 2 seconds and sometimes we don't even get to do that. And Eleanor, I see your hand. I'm gonna let you speak as well. But I remember I heard this thing somewhere, I don't remember, but it said like if you woke up tomorrow, right? If you woke up tomorrow and you only had the things that you were grateful for yesterday, what would you have? And I just was like, oh my God, I'll have everything that I have today and more. Cause I just was like, wow, this is amazing. But before I couldn't say that. I really couldn't say that. I couldn't say that if I woke up tomorrow with only the things I was grateful for yesterday, it just wouldn't be the same. So I try to express that more in my daily action. So L, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak. My name is Eleanor, and I'm the creator and host of Mindset Reset. And I can't wait to see you guys tonight on Digital Dash. But I want to say my thoughts about gratitude is you should be giving gratitude every day, and especially just having a gratitude journal. And I emphasize this especially not just to show your gratitude, but to reflect back on the things that you're grateful for. I had a moment in time where I was very angry at a person, and I opened my gratitude book to start expressing gratitude and to show just thankfulness to get out of that emotion. And I caught the person's name, and I realized I was grateful for them at one point, which took me out of my reactions to my emotions and made me feel more compassion for that person, to actually speak to them and understand them a lot more. So I think that gratitude is very good, not only for being grateful for where you at right now, but also helps you reflect on the people in your life and why you're grateful for them, and gives you the opportunity to not take them for granted. Um, so that's what I want to share. I think gratitude is amazing. I think everything that you shared on this call was amazing. And I just want to say, to piggyback off of Spicy, I definitely agree. And not just with, being obedient to God, but also just passing it forward. I think that's how we would, be what we would give back to God for showing gratitude, is just paying it forward to other people in the world and continuing that cycle. And my name is Eleanor, and I'm complete.
All right. Thank you for your share, L. Definitely make sure that you are practicing, well, everybody that's called, that you are practicing gratitude on a daily basis. Like L said, pay it forward. Like just how you should just be grateful for every single experience that you have, every person that you have, because people can be in your life for a reason. They can be in your life for a season. And like it was mentioned several times throughout this call, what you have now is something that you prayed for before. Like I pray for things now, but of course I couldn't foresee all the little details and things that would happen. But I am definitely living in the season of things that I've sown before. So it's just crazy to see how it goes, and I'm just ready to step into this new season because I have been more grateful and I have just it's just been an amazing experience. So I encourage you guys to do the same thing. So before we end, I just want to let you know that again, it is Wellness Wednesdays here at the Cosmic Club. You can follow us on Instagram at the Cosmic Club. It's exactly the way that it is sounds. And also make sure that you are tuned into the Digital Dash tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. I will be hosting it with two amazing ladies who you just heard speak, Miss Spicy and Miss Eleanor. If you do need the link to that call, just send me a text message and say dash, and I'll make sure that you are plugged in. because those really just hit hard. If you're in a space where you're trying to be more and do more financially, if you are having that entrepreneurial spirit, it's not a call you want to miss. So yeah, I think that's all for today. And I will see you guys later. Check out the rest of check out the rest of the Off the Charts episodes on YouTube in case you missed it. But yeah, I will see y'all next Wednesday at 2 o'clock p.m.